me shaking, yeah, I feel the fever coming on. Boy, you know you're all I want. Keep saying that I hate it, but it's kind of fun. Watching me come undone. No more games. Can't we just say it's me?
I can't believe I'm here. I came though. I was like, I am coming. I am not missing this. I love it. This is
Make sure that we're, you see how that box is there, that she's all one of us who's always being focused on that. Because every time you walk across the camera, it'll change. So just be sure to come back to it just to make sure we're here. Yeah. And we are here. Phones on silencio. Por
yep.
favor.
Mine stays on silent.
Yes, staying on silent. I know that's right.
My because my number has been leaked so many times that fans will just play on my phone all day. So it literally goes straight to voicemail too. And that's why when something is really important, I'm like, let me know when to call you. I will call you. Yeah, that shit. I'll never change my number. I've had it. This has been my only number my whole life. Just in case, people from the past want to reach out to me and, they always can get to me, you know?
Pull it in a little bit.
Okay.
Slightly. Yep, right there. It's perfect. All right. We are here. I have, hello, everybody. I have known this woman. Oh, wow.
Over a decade.
For a long ass time.
Yeah. The first time I met Wesley was in New York, actually. We went to BB King's. I will never forget the wings.
Had a time.
Me, you, Edson, the Love Games boys.
Yes.
I saw a homeless person. I wanted to save them. That's the Pisces in me. But no, we've had so many fun times. Yeah.
Long time. And it for y'all that are new to this, I've been in this space for a long time, and I'm happy to see Judi still thriving, still here, still doing your thing. So we're gonna dig in a little deep, not too deep, but we're gonna start from the beginning,
right?
And then we'll come back to where we are present day.
I'm just thankful. I'm good. Everybody, I know after 13, I scared everybody. They're like, is she okay? Like some days people just tweet me like, how are you doing mentally? I'm like, damn, it was bad, huh? Yeah. No, I've healed from it now. I can look at it now and recognize like that was who I was.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I didn't even want to talk about 13. Like I would cringe. It would make me mad. But ironically, none of us from 13 liked 13. Okay. Like not one person walked away like, oh man, I love 13.
Okay. So we're going to start from the beginning.
Yes.
First off, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I am doing really good. Obviously, yesterday was Mother's Day. So, I don't think you'll ever get over it. Obviously my mom and dad both crossed over, but you learn how to instead of being depressed, I think of all the times that I had with my mom because I didn't lack in anything. When I really look at it, I have so many memories of them. And I realized some people never met their mom, will never know their mom. Yeah. Their mom is very much alive, but they don't have a relationship. I just look at all the blessings that I did have, because if I sit here and think of what I don't anymore, you won't be, there's no way you'll be happy, Yeah. So I love my mom. I think when I see my family, I just came back from Louisiana for Easter. They're like, you look more and more like her every day. And I feel like she's instilled in me more and more every day. Everything just makes so much more sense. And I understand what she was saying. And, but that comes with just time and maturity, you know?
So I had a moment. Well, all month, beginning of the month has been a moment for me because I lost my mom last July.
I know, Wesley. So, I know.
It's been interesting trying to navigate it, right?
Yes.
Because you never know. How does one prepare to lose a parent?
You can't.
There's no way to. Right?
Yes.
And so everyone handles that kind of a loss differently. But for me, I'm not gonna say I distance myself, but I separate myself from too many wavelengths. And I just center and focus on self. And yesterday I was just in my bed watching movies, relaxing.
Yes.
And just, thinking about, like you said, the positive moments.
Yeah.
More so than the negative ones. But I think it's I talk to people all the time that have lost their parents, and they're like, It's never gonna change.
Oh, yeah, you'll never-
You'll always still think about her. You know.
Yeah, sometimes you'll be like, dang, I wish, I could tell her this, or like, did I tell her that? Or like, I get what she meant in that moment. I wish I could go back and rewind it, but you can't, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
But one thing that everybody always tells me, and it's just so true as a mother, I'm not a mom yet, but your parents know how much you love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know.
Yeah.
Like they never doubted it. They understood. They were kids at once. It was nothing new under the sun.
Right.
So they understood, and you just got to live for your parents, just be the best you can be for them.
Exactly.
Because they don't, I can't keep going to jail and acting a fool. Like, I can't. Like, they're not here to buy me out no more. Like, I move differently now because I have to.
Yeah.
Like I have bills to pay now. Like
Right.
I used to not.
Right.
Like I could be drinking all night and go to jail, have a little bond and stuff. I'm good. No, now I gotta, like, my dog. I gotta go. I gotta pay bills.
Yeah.
So it's just, you just move differently now that you have real responsibilities and nobody's there to help you.
Yeah.
You gotta help yourself.
Where are you from originally?
So I was born in Chicago, raised in Chicago, but my mom's side is from Louisiana. So I would also grow up like in Lake Charles, Louisiana too, like during the summer. So like best of both worlds, city and country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were a single child.
Yes, I grew up as an only child.
Uh-huh.
But what a lot of people may not know is I found out I actually had 2 half brothers and a half sister, and I didn't know that until I was 16.
Okay.
My dad had a previous
Yeah.
marriage, and they're way older than me though. But yeah, it was one of them.
Way older.
Way older.
Okay.
But it's so crazy because they always knew I existed, because they actually found a picture that I wrote to my dad, like, to Dad, love Judi, like in his wallet. So they were like, this ain't one of us. Who is this?
Right.
So they always knew. And finally, my mom had a stroke when I was 16. And I think she was like, I got to tell my daughter this. I don't want anybody else to tell her if I'm not here. I got to tell her.
Yeah.
So she told me, and I was like, oh, okay. Wow. So, you should have been told me this, because
Yeah.
if I grew up with a big sister, I may know how to fight. Hello, big
Yeah.
brothers. I probably would have whooped Priscilla's ass.
Hey.
But I didn't, but I'm thankful because that side of my family didn't shun me. They love me. We're close to this day.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
my
that's
mom
beautiful.
crossed over, they actually came to her funeral.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so I got I'm very blessed, very lucky. Like I got dealt a good hand with a very problematic situation, but they love me and we're close. Now I have a big sister and 2 big brothers, and it's cool. So I know both sides of my family. So
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces, big Pisces.
So are you like Pisces through and through? Because you have a wild side to you. Are Pisces wild?
Yes, look at Rihanna. Shout out to Rihanna. She said I'm her fave bad girl. I'll never get over it. That's iconic.
Yeah, of
I mean, I'm
course.
gonna brag about it. So.
And you better.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Rihanna was a Gemini.
No, you know what though? We're 2 fish. A Pisces symbol is literally 2 fish going in opposite directions. So we have a lot of duality like a Gemini.
Okay.
So I need to unpack my birth certificate because I need to know what my rising and my moon sign is, because I feel like I have some Gemini in me, and maybe a little fire too. Maybe earth though. I don't know, because I love food. Maybe air. You never know, but I'm gonna do it. It's on my to-do list. But
She
yeah,
said all of the elements.
all of them.
So-
Well, Pisces is though. We're the 12th sign, and we embody all the traits of all the zodiac signs because we're the last ones.
Okay. So is that like an astrological thing?
Yeah, like it's real, like it's a
Okay.
fact. So I do have a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the A. So starting out, your mom always had you on camera.
Yes. Yes.
You did tap, jazz,
Ballet.
and ballet.
Oh, Wesley knows. Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
trying to envision Judi today doing ballet back then.
Yeah.
What was that like, and what was your favorite out of the 3?
So I loved being a performer, like even piano recitals. My mom really wanted me to be like a ballerina and a piano player. Obviously, I'm not, but she had me active and stuff, and I always post like throwbacks at home videos. And yeah, she, I was her only daughter, so she was really into all of that, every moment, and I'm thankful for that because I'm like that too. I film everything. But My favorite out of all of them, it would be jazz, hip hop, dance.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. I did gymnastics too. What people don't know, I was a phenomenal basketball player. They won't believe me.
You use the word phenomenal.
Yeah, like I was really good. Like 3-point shooter. Like that's where these calves come from.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
like
see.
I was really good, and a volleyball player too, really good. And you would think like as good as I was, I would have continued that route like in high school and college, but I'm more of an artist. Way more of an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Artist in terms of music or
Everything.
acting or okay.
Literally just everything. I love acting, drawing, painting.
So you're like a drawing artist.
Yeah. Like I really draw, I really paint. I post my paintings and stuff. They're like, did you do this? I'm like, yeah. It literally a Pisces for real because we're artists.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, and I did cheerleading too, obviously. And I was most talkative in high school. I'm loud. I'm talking loud.
You majored in broadcast journalism, radio and TV. When did you know that you wanted to be in like complete entertainment?
I knew, to be honest, you know, a lot of girls would be like, oh, you know, I didn't want to be famous. No, I wanted to be famous. Like I knew, you know, a lot of people don't know, some may know, but I went through cancerous tumors. And there was a time that I, you know, had like a portable IV for like 2 years. Like my arm, I had to go to physical therapy and learn how to use it again and everything.
What age were you?
Like 11. It was right after my mom's mom passed away.
Okay.
And I just look at it like, damn, my mom went through so much, losing her mom, and then she has a sick child. It was a lot. You know, I didn't realize it then, but obviously now.
Looking back at it,
yeah. But yeah, I had cancerous tumors and it was a lot. And, you know, I went through the best of both worlds because I was really popular and then got back popular. But there was a time I was like an outcast and people, you know, bullied me. I was different, you know, I lost my hair, had an IV, you know, kids are kids. They don't understand, which is why my mom moved me into a Catholic school because she thought they would be nicer, but they're evil there too. Okay. Most people in the church are evil. Some of the worst human beings are in church every Sunday. Facts. But, so anyway, I ended up, I was hanging out with like all the white kids at the Catholic school. Like I went through every phase, I'm telling you. And, so I was an outcast, and I just remember at night, like going home, like I want to be famous. Like one day, all these people who are mean to me are going to be like, I knew her and, you know, want to know me and, you know, all this stuff. And I wanted to be famous and popular. And then I got my wish in like high school. I, you know, joined the newspaper staff. My boyfriend won homecoming king. I was a cheerleader. I got back, you know, I got my juice back.
Okay.
Hair grew back. I like, you know, everything. It was like, I wouldn't even remember that if I didn't really like remember that.
Right.
Because it's so long ago. But yeah, so I super popular newspaper staff. And writing on the newspaper, I was like, oh yeah, I like to write. Like I love English. I want to go the journalism route, broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
I always got compliments on my voice. Like it's a very strong, like raspy, like I could hear it on the radio. I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So it really was radio, broadcast journalism, radio and television. I wanted to be like a news anchor or a VJ like Roxy and Terrence. And you know, that's when I started going to like BET Spring Bling and stuff because I was, you know, trying to, you know, get in the mix and stuff. So I was actively like, trying to get in there.
Where does Bad Girls Club fit in this situation? Because it sounds like the trajectory was really, really high.
Yeah.
College and all of that. And then we take a pivot and go to Bad Girls Club.
So I was in college. I was in my junior year. And by this time, I did go to Spring Bling BET. I was really hanging out with like Shawty Low and stuff. He was really flying me and my friends out. We weren't doing anything though. We literally are just funny. Like he thought we were cool as hell. Like they're funny as hell. So I was really like hanging with celebrities and stuff junior year. And my best friend, Ryan Platt at the time was like, girl, they think they've seen crazy. They ain't seen crazy. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, have you ever seen Bad Girls Club? And I was like, no, because I really haven't. I know a lot of girls be like, I didn't even watch it. You know, no, I really didn't because Oxygen used to not be available for everybody. Okay. If you remember. Yeah. Remember like Oxygen was like an extra channel.
Yeah.
So my friend showed me season 5 of Bad Girls Club. And she was like, they're coming here. We should try out. And I was like, why not? You know, just why not?
Okay.
But so we went, and there were so many girls, like the lines are wrapped around, I mean, in red bottoms. These girls wanted to be on Bad Girls Club. Me, I don't think it's that I didn't care. I just didn't think we would make it. There were so many girls, you know, I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a fun experience. You know, this will be something we'll laugh at when we're old, like, remember, you know?
Right.
So we went to the bar with her boyfriend at the time, took some shots, and long story short, I made every round.
So it was a one and done. It wasn't like you tried out.
The first round, they put us in a group of like 8. And that's actually the first time I met Sydney Starr. She was in my group.
Okay.
And just to, you know, a lot of people, did you really tell them not to cast Sydney for Bad Girls Club? No, I didn't. I met her auditioning for season 7 like me. And she stood up and told them she was the transgender diva.
Okay.
Like that was her tagline. I'm the transgender diva. I'm the baddest. You know, I said I'm like unpredictable. You know, you go around and say one word. And then I made the second round, and that was just me on a green screen. And they wanted to see like if I would act the same, like away from my friend, you know, that like, is she going to be camera shy? And I wasn't. Like talking up a storm, crying, like just drinking, literally just me. The green screen didn't change me. And then it was like a long period, like 4 months of like them calling, checking in random times. What are you doing? Just to hear like, are we really who we say we are? And literally every time they called me, I was drunk. Like my friends end up like, she just threw a candle at these dudes, like just drunk, crazy. I was like low key crashing out though. I was still in college, but I was like crashing out, hanging around with the wrong people, like just not doing good stuff at all. You know, I think that's sometimes what happens when you're just still in the hometown you grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, you know, it was like, I'm bigger than this. I want more for myself. So after a while, I did really want to start being on Bad Girls Club when I was already in like the months of casting.
How old were you at this time?
21.
21 years.
Yeah.
Very tender.
Yeah, 21. I was working in a strip club as a cashier though, and making great money though. As a cashier.
Yeah,
but great money. I even got tips and everything. Like it was one of my favorite jobs to be honest.
Why would a cashier at a strip joint get tips? Like were you like
just being
like
cute
a
at the door,
kind of thing, or like the personality was just like
I did
drew
just
everybody
friendly.
in?
Yeah, just smiling, you know, because I'm the first person they see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey guys, welcome to Skybox, you know, putting the wristlets on them and stuff. Okay. And I would really leave with tips, like just off of just being nice, you know? Yeah. And honestly, I swear, I know I'm jumping a little everywhere, but just want to get the feel of where I was. You know, working at the strip club, I had a TV I was able to look at, and season 6 started premiering. Well, the promos, I saw Sydney, Corey, you know, like all the Shar, the cherries and stuff, like only on oxygen. Like I was like, oh my God, I want to make it so bad. Like at this point, I'm like, I want to make it. You know, at first I was like, haha. But as I kept going and it's like months and months in, I'm like, oh my God, like I want to make it. You know, we've already filled out background checks, papers. My mom, you know, I'm telling everybody like I'm going to be on Bad Girls Club. You know, they're like, oh, you know, like, don't embarrass me. Like I better make this show, you know. And I ended up, you know, the security guard who was at the door with me, he's like, you're going to make it. There's no way you're not. My friends started telling me this, like, Judi, they would be insane not to cast you. Like, I just don't see them not casting you. And I was like, you never know. And then I got fired from my job. And then the casting director called me. I said, I got fired. And she was like, better off anyway. So that's how I kind of knew, like, I think I'm going to be on this show. You know, and long story short, also, my friend didn't even make it that far. After her green screen, when they separated us, she didn't get the call back. But I did. So that's kind of like when I was like, oh, it's happening. I went to the hood. They popped bottles with me. They're like, you know, even if you don't make it, congratulations. You already, I mean, you come on now. Like you're talking to producers from Hollywood. This is a big thing. So, and then they flew me out to LA, my final interview. And that's when I kind of was like, okay. Like
when you got the call, was it a call? Was it an email notification? What was it that
it was
said
a call.
You are, so where were you? What were you doing? And how did you respond?
Yep. By this time it was Valentine's Day, literally Valentine's Day, 2011. I was getting my hair done and it was like 8 p.m. and my phone rang. And at this point, you know, it's them, the 818 numbers, Los Angeles, you just know. I'm like, it's them. You know, I thought it was going to be another one. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, but this time it sounded like they were on speaker and they were like, "Hi, Judi, happy Valentine's Day." I was like, "Hi," and there were a lot of other people in the background and they were like, "Congratulations, you made season 7." And I was like, "Oh, like my God, like what oh my God, I'm gonna be famous." Like literally, that's exactly like I was like, "Oh my God." Like I just couldn't wait to like just Nick like like that.
It's so crazy. Like when I look back at the older clips, because they run now, they do the reruns or whatever. It's so weird because now the resolution is so janky and it's just like a square resolution on the TV.
Yeah.
Back then I remember watching it and I thought it was like the prime production. Everything was just so visual.
Yeah.
But now we're in this 4K era and resolution is just
Yes.
so different. Everything looks so different from back then.
And even also because a lot of times what we're watching it now on our phone, which just looks clearer anyway. I love watching everything from my phone. I cut my cable back in 2017.
Oh.
Yeah, and I knew it. I was like, I'm paying for a bill that I won't need, and I just know it. I'll never regret it, and I never did. Like everything is literally on your phone. Like I haven't watched TV for real. If you come to my house, you would be shocked. Like I have TVs, but they're never on. It's very peaceful, incense burning, crystals everywhere. I mean, if you ask anybody who comes to my house, they will be like, "Judi's house feels so good." And people would think like it's just chaos, but it's not. Like I'll touch more back on that when we talk about Baddies. But
So
yeah, man, I made it.
You walk through the door. And what's going on in your head?
So it was, okay. A funny story a lot of people don't know. So, my season was in New Orleans. First rumor I'm about to debunk, a lot of people are like, they had a previous season. Like they had one of the rumors is there was actually another season 7 cast.
Okay, I remember hearing that.
That's not true.
Okay.
That is the way how long casting is, there would have been no way they would have had any time for it to even be another cast. So absolutely not. I flew into New Orleans. First of all, I got jumped on my way to the airport by some hating girls. My mom was like, "Judith, do you really want to do this?" I said, "Yes." So
they just knew you were a part of the show?
Yeah, like word got around, like Judi made it, like she's gonna go.
Oh, wow.
I was probably dropping hints on my Facebook. Obviously I couldn't say anything, but I was probably just like, I'm about to be famous or something like that. But yeah, they found where I was and literally jumped me in front of my mother. And my mom was like, "Judith, is this what you really want to do?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Okay."
Wow.
So she dropped me off at the airport. And we stayed in a hotel for 2 days before moving into the house. So I'm at the bar, no phone or nothing, in my hotel. And on the news, they're like, "Kenner residents are outraged. The Bad Girls Club is moving into the neighborhood." So I saw our mansion before we even moved in it. They're like, "Kenner neighbors outraged." Like, so the production had to like pay these people to shut them up. Like, we're filming the show here, know. But there were just stipulations, like, for instance, no more than 4 people who aren't related can't stay together in the house. That's why people went to the hotel every night. That was one of the rules. Another rule is we had to shut up like at a certain time. So we were always in the house, hardly outside, barely swim, as you can tell. Also, there were like snakes and little alligators in our yard. We were really in the swamp. So yeah, there was certain stipulations, but I circled around for like 3 hours. I was like, dang, and they just kept getting me drunk. Kept drinking. I started getting nervous. I'm like, am I the first one in? They're like, "We can't tell you." So I didn't know, what I was walking into. But I think me growing up as an only child, there was a lot of times I had to go meet friends. Like, "Hi, I'm Judi," like riding roller coasters at theme parks and stuff. My parents weren't riding them. I had to meet people. So I think that, I'm used to this. Like I'm used to going places by myself and meeting new people. So I didn't know, though, if I was going to be first or last in. And when I walked in, when I was the first one in, I was just like a mixture of like, "Oh my God, I'm first." And also like,
I'm here.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I'm on the show.
They were like, "Don't look at the cameras, act like they're not there." I was like, okay. And that was like the first time of me like really, don't break that third wall.
Right.
But it was just, man, me meeting Miss Voodoo for the first time on the strip pole. I was trying to get the alcohol open, but I could not find it. Like they hid it. Shelly found it. The bartender found the alcohol, but I did find the beer. So I'm just like, oh yes, but I'll never forget that feeling. And no show that I did after that will ever amount to like that original feeling.
One of the most iconic reality TV moments in reality TV history was when you served her breakfast in bed. Can we go back to that moment? I'm sure some of them remember the episode, but what was going on in your mind? You grabbed the pot, poured cereal in it. Was it milk or water? Milk. And like you just went up and I served you breakfast in bed. Explain.
So a lot of people always ask me, did they tell you to do that? Because now, shows are so overly produced. Overly produced. But I swear on everything, they did not tell me to do that. That was literally just me being me. And I feel like it was like mid-season. And me personally, I was like, somebody has to go home. Like somebody just has to go home. I wanted to switch up the dynamic because it literally was always me. It was always me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Priscilla, Shelly, and Tasha were always gonna mess with me. Like, for real? Like, again, like 6 weeks in, y'all are getting old. Like, this is tiring. So I wanted to switch it up. I did want somebody else to come in. I really wanted it to change, And me, Stassi, and Tiara went out that night. Tiara and Stassi don't drink a lot like that. Mm-hmm. They'll have a couple shots and they're good. They're lit. Me, I'm the drinker. So those 2 bottles of Patron, I drank nearly both of them. All to myself. 2 bottles of Patron. That was Patron.
Straight no chaser.
Straight no chaser. Just shotting it up. Like, tonight's the night.
Damn.
And if you look at the previous episode before Breakfast in Bed, I'm like in the car with them and I say, I'm thinking milk and cereal. So I was like premeditating it.
Wow.
And if it wasn't Priscilla, it was going to be Tasha and I was going to touch her clothes or something. Because that's the only way Tasha would have gotten mad. But then she wouldn't have fought, So I was like, I'm going to go for the one who I think will fight. So it was Priscilla, and I do kind of feel like looking back, I'm like, it was great and I don't regret it.
TV history.
Yeah. But there were times she was nice to me. Like, she bought me a shot glass for my birthday. That's why she was like, you fake ass bitch. And I'm looking back, I'm like, damn, like, did I tweak out on her? Like, should have been Tasha. No, but Priscilla, she had her moments, it was going to be one of them regardless.
Are you still cool with Stassi and Tiara? And
yes.
When's the last time you spoke to them?
I just talked to Tiara like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was literally just in Houston, Louisiana for Easter. And we were texting and she was like, are you in Houston, bitch? I said, yes. She was like, I'm finna come pick you up. But my cousin was already on his way. So we missed each other then, but we still talk a lot. Stassi and me, maybe a few months ago. Shelly, to everybody's surprise, were really cool.
Cool?
Like, not like, oh, Shelly's my girl.
Okay.
But like, Shelly, she spoke highly on me in recent interviews. She gets it now. She's like, Judi wanted to be on TV. She wanted to be famous. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody understood. Like, I'm like, hello.
She went through a transformation, right? She used to be a lot bigger on the show.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's like dolled it all up.
Man, skinny, slim, went back to her natural, because she wasn't a blonde. They actually made her dye her hair blonde. So she wasn't a blonde. Blonde wasn't always what she went by. She looks beautiful, dark haired. And, when I've had events out in St. Louis, she came out and supported me and we had a lot of fun. Yes. Like, we've been booked in Dallas too. Me, her, and Rocky had a ball. Like, me and Shelly really have fun together.
What about Tasha, Priscilla?
We will never talk. I mean, to this day, like 2 weeks ago, Priscilla was talking crap about me. Like, she's still so mad about the Breakfast in Bed thing, which I really don't blame her, because I think that she thought like her beating me up was going to be her claim to fame. I think like at one point her name was like the Gangstone Bad Girls Club 7 or something.
Okay.
It didn't go.
It was after the Breakfast in Bed. My mind remembers a scene in the living room, and it was like Stassi, Tiara, and you. I guess you were going. It was a brawl, and Tierra and Stassi were trying not to make anybody jump in the situation, but you were like really fighting.
Yeah, in our makeup room.
Yeah.
I mean, that fight went on a really long time. First of all, she was drunk out of her mind. So when I did throw the milk and cereal, she didn't even get up. Like, she felt it. She was like, oh. And then, like, she went back to sleep. I was like, what? I was like, well, I didn't do all of this for nothing.
Right.
You know, like, because she's still going to wake up and be in milk and cereal. So I want to be up and still drunk when she does wake up. She got to get up.
Yeah.
So I took the pot. I was like on the banister, like, bung, 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 like on the stairs. I mean, making ruckus, noise. I even stopped and ate some chicken nuggets with Tia and Stassi in between the fights. Like, it was a long time. And then she finally did get up. And I guess by then the tequila just, at this point, you know, after you're like the adrenaline drunk, now you're like, oh, I just ate.
Yeah.
You know, you got the itis. So when she did get up, I'm like, oh, girl, like, I was just playing, but she wasn't. So yeah, she was like, no, it's Donkey Kong. Like, she was, you know.
Where did the voodoo doll and the attachment to the voodoo doll come from?
So, you know, I was the first one in, and I met Miss Voodoo on the strip pole. She was on the pole, and I feel like, you know, they know our personalities so well. I feel like they knew being the first one, and I would see the voodoo doll and, you know, would play with it. Because even before I knew the season was in New Orleans, my tagline was like, I got the voodoo for you bitches. Like, I said that.
So that wasn't something.
No, there's two. You'll see me in the casting, and I'll be like, bitches, I only got one thing to say. I got the voodoo for you bitches. That was before I even knew it was going to be in New Orleans. Then you see me on another green screen dressed in totally different. This was when I was out in LA, and the production tells me it's New Orleans. And I'm like, oh my God, bitch. Oh my God. Like, I got excited. So I didn't know. Literally, I always represented my Creole culture and my heritage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when they said New Orleans, I was so excited because I always wanted to live like down south. You know, I even wanted to go to school at HBCU down there, but I stayed in Chicago downtown, which was a lot of fun. I don't regret it. But for them to tell me it was New Orleans, I'm like, oh yes, I get to, you know, get a real dose of actually living there. And I said that, like, I was like living in my land, you know, because I would just visit, you know, during the summer. So, you know, it was just the cherry on top. But when I saw the voodoo doll, I was like, she's mine.
What was
like,
first?
that's it.
Love Games or the next season of Bad Girls Club?
Love Games.
Okay. And what was that pitch to get you on there?
So literally leaving, I'm trying to, wait, let me think. Did I leave anything out about the breakfast in bed? Oh no, got my ass whooped. So no, and you know, people be like, oh, they wanted her to get her ass beat. They didn't break it up. I don't necessarily think they wanted me to get my ass beat. They just wanted that to be the opening fight. So they're like, we're going to let it ride.
So when you say they, you mean producers?
Production, yeah. Because I know there's some people say production told Tia and Stassi not to jump in.
And that's when
Tasha tried to kick me, and
she was
they
like,
were like, y'all better get the fuck out there of my back. I don't know if production told them that. Maybe they did. You'll have to ask them. But I know for a fact it was so dramatic that they were like, this is our opening fight.
I feel like it
so they
went
weren't
on
going to stop
for
it.
so long.
Yeah.
It was, like you said, it was a long time.
A long
in
fight.
my mind, someone would be like, well, why isn't anyone breaking this up?
Yeah.
Per se.
And they didn't, y'all don't even see, like, I like smeared the blood on my face. I was like, Sue Woo, Lil Wayne would be proud of me. Like, I was like wilding. A lot of stuff was cut. We were wilding. They even took me to the hospital afterwards. I was on camera and everything. I didn't need the hospital, but they were like, oh, this would be great. And they didn't use it, thank God. Because by then I really probably did have stars and shit around my head. Like, it was hurting after a while. I was in the back like, oh my God, she better go home.
Yeah.
Like, but no, Love Games. So I left season 7. I didn't even fly back to Chicago. My mom drove from Lake Charles to New Orleans, which is like 2 hours.
Okay.
My family's from Lake Charles. That's where the real good food is, the real seasoning.
Okay.
New Orleans is amazing, but my neck of the woods, because it's more like Cajun and Creole. It's not just Creole. It's so good. So good. I just have to plug. Shout out to 337. Okay. But so my mom and my aunt drove, picked me up in New Orleans, because whenever I would go film, my mom would go down to stay with family. So she wouldn't be like alone. So they picked me up. We hit the road, got back to my Aunt Lou's house that night, like 2 hours later. And the next day, Wesley, the very next day, my phone rang and I got offered Love Games. the day after moving out of season 7.
What was the pitch? Did they say we're going to pay you $300,000? Did they say these are the fine men that'll be doing it?
They called me. They said, Judi, congratulations on season 7. We're really excited about the season. Because mind you, our filming got cut short like 2 weeks before we were supposed to wrap.
Okay.
Production was like, we have so much material. Like, we're good. Y'all can go.
Yeah.
So they were like, congratulations. They were like, we want you to be on Love Games. Would you be interested? They were like, now, mind you, Judi, I really will say verbatim what they said. They said, we have a lot of girls we can choose from, but we think you can win. I swear to God, that's what they said. And they were like, are you interested? And I was like, what? Yes. Sign me up. And I looked at my mom and I'm like, Mom, they want me on another show. And my mom was really happy for me because at this point, she's like, okay, this isn't like a one-time thing. This might be a career for you. So she was happy.
When I think about your process on Bad Girls Club, and then the very next day they call you for another show, were you not like traumatized from Bad Girls Club? Were you had no ill feelings or anything?
No,
it was nothing like that.
No.
You were just like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, and I feel like I've had anxiety my whole life. Like when I, wore wigs and played basketball hit my head, it fell off in front of everybody. So I had that like moment, everybody's looking at me for real. Right. Got over it, so I feel like anxiety was always there, but I swear I did not recognize it like after 7. Like, I'm like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. Like, I'm ready. Let's film again. After 13, I was like, oh, I felt the anxiety more, probably because I'm just getting older, more aware. Mm-hmm. But no, after 7, I was no trauma. Let's go. I am ready. Like, I was just excited. And we filmed in August, only for a month though. It was a competition show. Competition shows are like a month. So we stopped filming before Easter in April. I had that whole summer. Mm-hmm. I got another tumor. A lot of people don't know this, but I started feeling something in my groin area. Like at the end of 7, I would be on the phone with my mom. Me and Stassi have cried about cancer, everything. A lot of stuff wasn't shown, But when I got home, I went and got a biopsy and it was another tumor. So literally right after Bad Girls Club, I had surgery, got the tumor removed. I told, NBC and stuff, Oxygen, I'm like, I just got a tumor removed. They're like, oh my God, will you be able to film? I said, yes. What tumor?
Right.
Girl.
Right.
I'm ready.
Right.
So I literally am just a goon, I think, like in another way. I may not have them hands, but I'm resilient. And nobody can take that from me. Like, I'm resilient as fuck. Like, you cannot get me out of here.
I mean, that's bold.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's really, really bold.
Yeah. So I literally the whole summer after having surgery, it took me a while to walk again. Literally, my best friend was in the bed with me every day. We'd be ordering pizza, everything. That was like my May, June. Then when July hit and like the first promo for season 7 dropped, my whole life changed, even before the season aired. So, I had a manager at this point already. I'm already booked up. I'm hosting gigs with Sydney from season 6 already. I'm meeting Kentucky, shout out to Lauren. I'm meeting all the season 6, Shar, Tiffany in Chicago. I mean, I'm already promoting parties and stuff. It was a very I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Love Games, mind you, I didn't see my season yet. We started filming the day season 7 premiered. Mm. So these dudes don't even know me. They've seen
right.
Blah, 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 blah. Like, the Dow, they know like, oh, she's crazy, but they didn't know me and I didn't know either. Like I'm just calling my friends in the house. They're like, girl, your followers are going up. Like I'm just so excited. I was like living the rise while I was filming another show. It was crazy. And at the reunion, I was filming Love Games. That's why I was so tan. I was in LA. I was more calm. They were like, we don't want you to fight because that wouldn't make sense if you get beat up and then you got to go back on camera. It's an elimination just with a black eye. They're going to be like, are these dudes beating on you? What's going on? But they didn't even want to fight me at the reunion.
Through your run of Love Games, did you ever feel like it was just a show, or did you feel like the connections that were being made were real?
So before I went, my friends and everybody was like, girl, just go and win the show. You ain't gonna find no love go win the show, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to win the show, but I didn't know, of course, I was going to win the show because it was looking dark the first couple episodes. I mean, yeah, it was bad. But thank you to Sydney because she took she took the crazy cake. I love Sydney though. Shout out to
Yeah, I was trying to remember the girls that were with you on the show.
Sydney and Corey.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they were just like, go win the show. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do my best. Did I ever think I would really fall for somebody or have genuine relationships? No, but it happened. Me and Matt really did date for like a year after the show. We really went to Cancun, got a free trip paid by Oxygen. Shout out to them because it was a beautiful resort. Everything free for a week. Me and Edson are still really good friends. That's one of my best friends to this day. Like literally, I love Edson. Such a good person. Joey, he's still my friend. And of course, John Marshall. He works for Streets 94.5. He's still in his entertainment bag. Like, John is one of my best friends. Like, I really walked off the show with like some great like friends. Yeah. And I think I'm the only girl that did, at least from season 3, because Sydney and Corey don't talk to them people no more. They moved on. Me, I'm like, hi, God. Like, I'm still friends with them. And everybody loved our season more than any season of Love Games. And I think that's because there was real, genuine connections. Like, even Corey and Joey, they really dated after the show. They even moved in together, like in Arizona together. Sydney was obviously head over heels for John, and John liked her too. Don't let him, that little, character he was playing, he liked Sydney too, So yeah, it was, Love Games was a lot of fun. The dates, I mean, sushi at the Chinese theater, like what, at 22? Girl, like nobody can tell me anything. Shopping for lingerie on Rodeo Drive, like filming in Palm Springs. Like, I mean, this was the shit. Okay. It was lit, so I loved Love Games, and to go into that right after season 7, it was a different feeling, a different vibe. Yeah. Men were around. It was way more calm, cool. Obviously there was still drama, but Tanisha was on set. It was just a different vibe. It was just a different vibe. And we're in LA. It was my first show filming in LA. Yeah. It was a way more calm vibe. And that's probably because men were around, Yeah. And it was more so like on 7, it was like, I'm getting new to this. This is new. I'm getting used to this. On Love Games, the production kind of taught us like, we know what we're doing, at that point. We understand what the bat phone is, getting mic'd up. And it was just, it was my second rendezvous. Yeah. So it was a little more, different.
That does make things easier. Yeah. Let's talk about Raven's Craving.
Yes.
That came around in 2013. Yes. So you did, season 7 was 2011.
Yes.
Then Love Games came right after that.
It actually aired December 5th, 2011, and it went until like January 2012, right before season 8.
Okay. And so is Raven's Craving next for you, or what was after Love Games?
After Love Games, I feel like it was All-Star Battle.
Okay.
Because we filmed All-Star Battle in 13, and I filmed Raven's Cravings after All-Star Battle.
And then after that was Redemption?
Redemption. Yes.
A lot going on in those short amount of years.
And it, looking back, it felt like forever. Yeah. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that was only like 3 years. My life had changed so much. Just, it's insanity to think like, it's just all crazy. And then after Redemption before Redemption. So after Raven's Cravings, I went to film Funniest Bad Girls of All Time.
Yes.
With Tanisha and Camilla. And I have a story for that whenever you're ready. And how I got on that one. I won Funniest Bad Girl, but originally I wasn't supposed to be the one hosting it with them. It was actually Natalie.
I have on my notes SX Battle of X.
We filmed that in 2016. I'll talk about that too.
You've basically been filming every
year.
Freaking year.
Every year. So Funniest Bad Girl, right? Won that. And then, so just let me tell you real quick. Okay, so it was, I know we're going to go back to All-Star Battle, but All-Star Battle and right before Redemption, in that space, Raven's Cravings, my first movie. Shout out to the independent filmmakers. I got a credit for it and everything. IMDb. amazing. And now it's on Tubi, so people who didn't see it have a platform. So I went to film Most All-Star Moments with Julie. There was a special Most All-Star
I
moment.
remember watching that. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So then right after that, I literally got dropped off at the airport, flew all the way back to Chicago from LA. My mom picked me up. My mom supported everything I did. As soon as I get home, my phone starts ringing. It's them. I'm like, ooh, are they going to cut me? Like, what are they going to say? I picked up and they said, Judith, are you able to film another special tomorrow? Literally, we can get you a red eye tonight. Literally, I just got home, Wesley.
That's a lot.
I was like, Mom, she was like, let's do it, and she literally turned back around and took me right back to the airport. And I flew back out, and it was for Funniest Bad Girls of All Time. But like I said, I was not supposed to be hosting it. I did win it. Shout out. I used to win everything. Love Games, Funniest Bad Girl, Top 10 OMG.
Was Camilla on
before
that?
Rocky? Camilla was on that.
Okay, yeah, my mind is
Camilla
remembering.
and Tanisha. It was really supposed to be Natalie hosting that. So what happened was, let me tell you how shady the Oxygen is.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be Natalie, and Natalie acted up because they put Tanisha in like this 5-star hotel in Beverly Hills. They put Natalie in like Rodeo Inn or something. Like it was like in the hood.
Right.
Like just, them little rinky dink motels they would put us in and stuff.
Right.
And Natalie wasn't having it. She was like, absolutely not. After all I've done for this network, and you put that bitch in there, I need to be. Right. They're like, well, you're not going to be. You ain't going to be. So they were like, fine. If you don't want to do it, fine. They called me. And guess what? Not only did they call me,
but they put you in the 5-star.
They put me in the 5-star hotel in Beverly Hills. I swear to God.
Clink to that. Yes,
Clink to that. That's crazy, right? So Natalie be having a little reason to be a little mad, upset sometimes. But I swear that's a real story.
Wow.
And I took pictures, I take pictures of everything. It's literally still on Instagram, the chandeliers and stuff. I'm like, thank you, Oxygen, But no, like I said, I used to win everything until Rocky came. Then Rocky just started.
Rocky is a spitfire. I love Rocky. Shout out to Rocky.
People loved her. Yeah.
All-Star Battles. What made you think that you would be good for that? Like the physical.
Yeah. So I did sports.
Okay.
Played sports,
basketball,
ballet, everything.
Cheerleading.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, this is so cool.
Okay.
And also because, I just did a dating show.
Yeah.
I grew up watching like I Love New York and For the Love of Flavor Flav, all of that. Used to never see myself on one of these dating shows, but I did it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, obviously Real World, shout out to Bjorn and Murray because they are the original creators of all of this stuff. Yeah. I've always watched the challenge. I'm like, Road Rules, I'm like, why not? This is Bjorn and Murray. It's the company. Just a bad girl spin. I was like, why wouldn't I do it? And it's the 14 of the baddest from all seasons.
I thought that was amazing. I thought that was an amazing idea. I wish something like that would be recreated. I still watch the challenge. I still love the challenge. Why aren't you kind of segueing, and we will backtrack a little bit, but why aren't you on the Traders?
Hold on. We'll get there. No, look, wait, because I want to just finish this thought. The All-Star battle.
Yeah.
I was really excited. 14 girls. I was like, oh shit. That's the actually first time I was nervous. But it was also the first time other bad girls were like my fans. Like Rocky was so excited to meet me.
Yeah.
She was nervous. Like, but I'm nervous too, meeting all you guys. Like, that was a lot of fun. Me and Julie became really good friends on that show. It was a lot of fun. And shout out to Oxygen because that was the highest premiere ever in Oxygen's history. And
but that just makes sense. It's
you know,
a formula for a win.
Yeah, but I told Tierra who the winner is. Remember that drama and Tierra leaked Gen 1? Oxygen was calling Tierra like, take it down. Tierra's like, no, fuck Judi. And fuck y'all too. I was like, oh my God, I'm finna get blackballed. They ain't never finna cast me again. I feel like if ratings sucked that premiere, it would have. I don't think they would have blackballed me, but I would have been in the hot seat for a while. But the fact that it was still so phenomenal and that didn't stop anything, they were like, whew, you know. Yeah. And you know, Ray J was the host. It was just amazing. He's super funny and professional in real life, so that was a lot of fun.
Did y'all ever flirt?
No, he was so professional. And if he
Okay.
did flirt, it definitely wasn't with me. I was drunk all the time. Cigarette, wine, Julie. That's it. But no, that All-Star Battle was a lot of fun, and I was actually healing from my breakup with Matt. That's why I was crying all the time. I always cried, but I really cried like a lot on All-Star Battle. Like after everything, I would cry. I was actually really like fragile. After, and then that's when I did start feeling anxiety. I'm like, whoo, like it's my third show, I should be, well, and then I've hosted specials and stuff. Like I should be used to this, but not yet.
Was All-Star scripted at all?
No, that was
So
real. Flo really flipped a coin.
Okay.
And that's how I went home.
Okay.
That is crazy. Flo flipped a coin. But shout out to Flo because she's like into like tarot and very much spiritual stuff like me. I'm gonna still read your oracle card before we end, but Flo is on a whole different wavelength now. And I feel like that's what happens though. Like you hit rock bottom and you have nowhere to go but up. So like me, that spirituality saved my life. I know we'll get more into that and we're jumping everywhere, but I grew up Catholic. Like I said, I went to Catholic school. I grew up in the church, baptized when I was a baby, everything. I never got rid of my religion. I'm still religious. But the voodoo queen, Marie Laveau, she was Catholic and didn't let go of her African roots. And I did my ancestry. I am definitely 100% Louisiana Creole. I have roots from Nigeria, Togo. Like I'm literally a pot of gumbo.
So what did
everything.
you use what website did you use to discover all this?
Ancestry DNA. I'll send you the link. Phenomenal, easy. I'm literally so much stuff. Wesley is crazy. Even Polynesian. Like I'm literally, it makes sense though. That's what Creole is. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But so, I have African roots, which is why I still believe in Black girl magic. Like, and I don't think that's wrong because religion was really brought here to conquer and divide. It's actually evil as hell. Most of the wars are from and over religion. Spirituality, every religion believes in the same thing. They want peace. They have like a Buddha, like Jesus Christ, God. Like, what is God? We don't know. We didn't die to know, to come back and tell everybody this is for sure what it is.
Right.
And I just feel like it's ignorant to think everybody's wrong and you're right. Like, you have no idea. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Asia. Do you know how much of an asshole I would have been to walk up to those people praying to Buddha and tell them, no, you're wrong.
Right.
White Jesus is right. And he ain't even white. He lived in the desert, so he was tan. And they said he had hair of wool, sheep. So it was kinky. He's Black. He's not this white Jesus that they be trying to lie. So if that's a lie, what else is a lie? The Bible is like a game of telephone. It changes throughout history. Do I believe Jesus is real?
Thing.
Absolutely. Do I believe in miracles and magic? Yeah, you could see my altars at home.
Yeah.
It's all magic. It's all spiritual. And you'd be ignorant to think that is not, because it is. Jesus died and then rose from the dead. That's magic in itself. He's walking on water. We're turning water into wine. This is sorcery in front of your eyes.
Right.
And you're telling me magic is evil? Ridiculous. When you pray to your guardian angels, it's the same as me praying to my ancestors. It's the same thing, like it really is. And I think it's just, I feel like we live in a time now where everybody should be open-minded. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
People are waking up.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I went off on a little tangent.
Yeah.
I'll read an oracle later.
We are dancing the dance, right? But we're dancing the dance so that, one, you can see how we are.
Yeah.
One. And two, there's a lot that has gone on in your world.
Yeah. So I'm jumping everywhere because before the interview, I'm like, make sure I talk about that. Make sure I talk about that. Make sure, because I just want to, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, jumping back, All-Star was great. All-Star was great. Shout out to Jen. She won. Then 2 came around. I wasn't casted for that. And they casted Megan and Danny, which made sense. Megan went home first. She didn't have a fair game. And Danny, because she almost won, So it made sense for them to come back for 2. And then was season 13 Redemption, which I know we'll get into. But I know you asked about Traitors and House of Villains.
Because I could talk about that in the Where Are We Now part.
Yeah.
But when I think about reality TV and I think about the competition shows that I actually love, Oxygen, cool. Is it like Bruno Mary? They did some things back in the day, but I'm like, when I think of reality TV now, the shows that I think about are Big Brother, Traitors, Amazing Race.
Yeah.
Even MTV's Challenge now, like those are like the creme de la creme reality shows to me now.
So, not only, you know, season 13, I know we're going to get into that, but after 13, I know you brought up Ex-Besties. They called me. I could have chosen anybody I wanted to be on Ex-Besties with.
Was that another Oxygen thing?
It was, but it wasn't anything to do with Bad Girls. It wasn't even Beyond a Murray production.
Yeah, okay.
But it just aired on Oxygen.
Okay.
They said, who do I want? I chose Danny, just because I know that she's done a lot of shows too. She's not a fighter. We weren't getting along, so it made sense. But if I could go back, I would have asked for Julie to come on that show with me. But me and Julie literally weren't talking after season 13. Our friendship had ended for a while after 13. We're back on track now. But back then, and if I could do it again, I would have definitely pitched Julie to do Ex-Besties with me. Just because that even made more sense. You know,
And Ex-Besties was after 13?
Yes, after 13. And I know we're jumping everywhere because there's been so many shows. Then after Ex-Besties, I got casted to a mother-daughter show for Oxygen. Because, you know, they were changing into a more family-orientated network. If you remember, after 13, which was supposed to be the last season, there was a long break. They even changed the logo. It went from Live Out Loud to Very Real.
Yeah.
They brought Laura, the life coach. They were going in a whole nother direction.
Yeah.
After 11 was a mess. They were like, we got to change it up. So that's how Laura came in for 12. And, you know, they're changing the logos and stuff. So I got casted to a mother-daughter show. And my mom was for it. You know, at this point, she retired. She was going to do it with me, you know. And, you know, she saw how well I did Funniest Bad Girl. She loved me in that light. She's like, I'll go ahead and do it. You know, why not? I'm retired. You know, let's do it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my mother did cross over before it all finished. But we did, you know, have our on-camera interview. It was so funny. I still have those memories. I still have it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And I feel like everything happens for a reason, because I wouldn't have wanted that footage to have to see that now, me and my mom arguing or whatever we would have did on that show.
Right,
you know, all I have is good memories.
Right.
You know, I'm happy, obviously not happy it turned out the way it did, but there's a reason why we didn't go on that show. 13
was called Redemption, correct?
Yes.
Why was it given that title?
Because I guess, you know, 13, like I said, was supposed to be the last season. And I think it was just going to be a cute way to go out. Like Redemption, the bad girls, they leave, they're good. No.
Do you feel like anyone was redeemed or had redeemed themselves?
No, we showed our ass on 13. Everybody was like way more petty because we couldn't fight. Some of them are fighters, you know, so they're doing other stuff. And we had all been through this before, so all of our anxiety is high as hell. And if you look at the cast, we were all people who were messed with on our season. Jada, me, Julie, you know, we got beat up. We got our ass whooped. Rocky was picked on. You know, I mean, that Sarah, you know, like we've all been here before.
Yeah.
But it was just a different vibe. Like it just wasn't it. Like I feel like, honestly, some of the girls that were on the show shouldn't have been there. If we're talking an all-star season, an all-star cast, some should have been gone and others should have been in. And that's just the reality of it. If 13 is the goodbye, there deserve to be way...
So who would represent the goodbye? What would be your cast?
And I don't want anybody to take this personally, but I'm just...
Is that good, by the way? Is that
delicious.
The white sangria?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Child, that's the only brand they had in the whole store.
No, I love it. I love
like,
it.
what's
Because sangria is like grapes. I love grapes.
Okay.
I went to Spain, drank sangria. I was sangria. But me personally, it would have been obviously me, Natalie. Obviously Rocky. Obviously Sarah. Obviously Camilla. Because she came and shook up the house. You know, obviously Julie, because Julie ran her season. She did. Nobody knew she ran it until like they knew she ran it.
Yeah.
And that was good, you know.
Yeah, because
I was out there.
Megan. Julie was with
Megan, amazing too. Right, Megan. I mean, there could have been so many other girls. You know what I mean? Even Kristen Kelly. I know that there's like a lot of drama surrounding like season 5 and, you know, with her and Brandy and the allegations or whatever. And that's why she didn't come back. But Kristen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just could have been so many other girls that if we're talking, because I know, a lot of the later seasons, I consider them more so social media personalities. You know what I mean? At this point, Instagram exists. They're going up on Instagram because of Instagram, not because of how iconic they were on Bad Girls Club. When I think of like Bad Girls Club, I think of like the golden years, which is literally like, 2 was great. Shout out to Tanisha. I love Tanisha. She actually pitched me for House of Villains, and yes, they did call me.
Okay.
We'll get back to
Okay.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all like, dang, get a notepad.
Right.
I jump everywhere.
Right.
But so before I get there, shout out to Tanisha. But if I'm thinking like the golden years of Bad Girls Club, it was definitely 4 through 8. Well, 4 through 10.
I would say 2 through 9.
2 through 9. I give it that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's favorite season, top 2. It used to be 4, but 4 really doesn't get mentioned, contrary to Natalie's delusions. Everybody 7 and 9.
Yeah, 9 is 9 the one with Rocky,
Megan and Julie. Megan and
which
and
one was
Lucci.
Rocky on?
She was on 10 with Paula.
10 and well, no, that was a good season.
That's why I said 10. So 2 to 10.
Yeah,
2 to 10.
Yeah.
I agree, because 11 was when it just started
Yeah, because
rumbling.
Paula's season was definitely a memorable one.
Yep.
Your season was memorable.
Yep.
And Megan's season.
9, of course.
9 was memorable.
Everybody, whenever the fans, they go to that, they're like 7 versus 9. It's always 7 versus 9.
Yeah.
So shout out to 9, Cabo. They did their big one for sure.
Yeah.
But it's 7. Top 2 or not 2. No, but 9 was amazing.
But I agree though, because I agree. But yeah, those were the top 3. Definitely the top 3.
Yeah, fans say.
I remember Jen versus Rocky being
that
like
was
a
10
thing.
Yeah,
that was a thing, and
that beef segued into All-Star Battle. It made great storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are always like, 7 wins because it was literally entertaining from the beginning to the end.
Yeah,
and with 9, people say when like Megan and Lucci and Christina left, it flopped until they came back.
Yeah.
So that's what saved us. Thanks. No, amazing
when
though.
did I meet you through all of this? Did I meet you after 13?
After 11.
Okay.
No, I mean, me and you, when we met for the first time.
New York, we were in New York.
Baby, that was 2011.
That was before all of.
Oh, that was after Love Games. That was 2012 then.
Yes, we were with
them.
the guys.
Right.
Yes, that makes sense.
We were with them.
Okay,
but yeah, I was still, in love with Matt. I think I was talking about him nonstop.
Baby, it was a lot.
Matt, it was every day. Matt, every day.
It was a lot.
Yeah, but shout out to Tanisha because she did pitch me to House of Villains. They did reach out to me for season 2. They reached out to me and Camilla, and they went with Camilla. And I'm happy they did because Camilla deserves to be seen in a great light because Baddies was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I also feel like they chose her for 2 because she had a lot of eyes on her from Baddies. So it made sense. They wanted those viewers to kind of cross over and stuff. But do I think I'm going to be on House of Villains? Absolutely. It's under NBC Universal, which is the mother umbrella of everything we've done, Oxygen. And now it's on Peacock. They just finally greenlit season 3 last Friday. So it's actually going to be a Peacock exclusive now. And everybody wants me on Traders too.
I was just, my mouth is open. I was just about to say that.
Well, fingers crossed for me for House of Villains, please. Fingers crossed, or Traders.
Traders.
Yeah, people.
And I would love for you to go on as a trader.
Yeah, everybody, they're like, when I spoke
Have you watched the full season?
Not yet, but I will. I feel like, Tanisha is always going to be that bad girl that comes first and knocks down the doors for the rest of us. So when Tanisha gets on Traders, that's a green light for, the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because, they're loyal and I just feel like it makes so much sense. Of course, start with Tanisha. She was the first one on Villains, which is amazing. And, when they asked her, there were so many press releases like, what other bad girls? She said me and Camilla. And I love Tanisha. I really do. She was one of the only ones that went to bat for me on Baddies, Saddies, whatever that is.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah, she was the only one who was like, give Judi her own room. This is ridiculous. Her parents crossed over. Give that girl her own room. She was the only one that had foot on necks, like, give Judi her own room. At the reunion, she was the only one that stood up to me. I mean, for me against Sydney, like, she didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, really clocking it. Besides 7. Because 7 stood up for me a lot of times too. I know we'll get more into that, but Tanisha and 7 were the ones that really like had my back on Baddies.
How do you feel?
Good. I know I'm talking so much.
No,
y'all.
I
I'm
just want to
so
make sure
sorry.
you're good.
Yes.
Need a bathroom break?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
No, you're good. You're good.
Am I
We're here.
talking too fast?
No, we're here.
You're following
I'm
me,
following
right?
you.
Okay.
Following you.
Sorry, y'all. I'm hyper. I ADHD all of it.
No, you are so good.
Okay.
Everything's good. Yeah, I'm going through her.
I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, look, I'm so good. Look, y'all.
Yes, you still
Old
have
me
it.
would have been like
Down in there.
freestyling.
Actually, I want to try this white stuff she got.
Babe, top me off too a little bit. Thank you so much. Is it good? Is it good?
Should it be chill?
Okay.
Really good.
No,
Or
it's good.
fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it. Let me try one of these black grapes. I've never had black grapes.
Yeah, hopefully they decent, y'all, because I can't stomach.
They're good.
They are. Mm-hmm. I can't stomach fruit. Like I have a gag thing, and it
Really?
my throat makes me want to push it out.
Wow.
Anything like with a mushy texture,
Right.
or it's supposed to be crunchy, but it's not crunchy. It's like in between.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
They taste like baby plums.
Okay.
Taste like baby plums. That's gonna be cut out, right? Or is this gonna be in there? I mean,
I do all the banter in. I keep all the
good.
banter in.
Hey, guys.
Because everybody likes it. Oh, I love it when they do like the breaks and people are walking across the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they like it. I mean,
It gives
maybe
people-
it keeps it the reality of it.
yeah, to
Not
see the
overly
back in
produced.
it, like
Yeah.
the cameras and stuff, because that's now normal in reality shows now. Like they show the cameraman. I mean,
Yeah.
the security guards have confessionals. It's like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
But I know we'll get into all that. But fingers crossed for House of Villains. Yes, I definitely want to be on there.
Can we, this is the white stuff? Okay, I'm going to taste it, but cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you being back. Cheers to you for us doing a full interview.
Yes.
And I'm cheersing to that because listen, I watch all those shows now and I just see you on
Your
Twitter.
set is like House of Villains. Oh, Traitors. That's what I was going to say. Somebody was like, well, maybe you didn't get on House of Villains because you're about to be on Traitors. Like, you never know. God has other blessings for you, bigger blessings and stuff. But I want to do both. Like, why not?
Yeah, definitely.
And this set gives House of Villains like the purple aesthetic and we're wearing black.
Hey,
it's on brand.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
But-
Okay, so let me see what I got for these questions because we went past the questions and we just been shooting off each other. So
but I will be back on TV this fall. I will say that.
that's a beautiful
With
thing.
something else on a huge network, national television, on a really popular show.
We're gonna get
It's gonna be
into
some
it.
funny stuff, but
We're gonna get
yeah.
into it.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm saying this incorrect, but is it the Stacy story?
Stacey Stacks.
Okay.
So that literally is based on a true story about a girl who grew up in poverty in Baltimore, and started, dancing and prostituting to make a living.
What role did you play?
I played a girl named Dolly.
Okay.
How ironic, but right on brand.
Okay.
But y'all are gonna be like, well, I played like a crackhead.
So
Well, she wasn't necessarily, she did drugs. She, was from the streets and stuff. She actually carried a baby doll. And yeah, she had, it had a lot of like,
similarity.
yeah, but it's really based on a true story. And shout out to Star City Motion Pictures. She's an independent film creator. She also did Raven's Cravings.
Okay.
But what was so cool about this movie is it's under Dame Dash Studios.
That's dopeness.
That's huge,
Yeah.
It's like, wow, Dame Dash, that's big. And it's on Tubi, but I know a lot of people are also on Tubi. Tubi gives independent filmmakers a platform. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
definitely.
love Tubi. It's free. How can you beat that?
Yeah.
And it really depends on what you're looking for on Tubi. If you're going to look for some ghetto trash, you're going to find ghetto trash.
Or
but I
if
watch
you want-
A-list movies on there.
There are good productions on
Right.
there too as well.
What?
And the Tubi originals are up. Like
Yeah.
they do some good Tubi originals.
Yeah, so I love it. I'm so thankful. And actually, I filmed Stacey Stacks too because it was like trending on Tubi and everything, like recommended. I filmed Stacey Stacks 2 in 2023, and they're literally putting the final touches on it. And it will also be on Tubi under Homestead Entertainment, which is the partner company to Dame Dash Studios.
How did you prepare for the role?
We did table reads.
Okay.
We really did. Like I was reading lines and stuff, like real talk.
Did you do any acting classes?
Yeah, I didn't do. Sarah actually wanted me to do acting classes with her, but I never got around to it. But me and my cousin actually took voice lessons.
Okay.
So, because really, what I also really want to do, and I know it's going to happen because everything I wanted has come, like literally everything. Like, I'm so like just blessed and thankful. It's really manifestation. Like, there's not one thing that I didn't get that I wanted. Like, nothing. Like, when I look back, I'm like, I got that, did that, got that. Like, it's just so real. That's why you just have to speak it into existence and not doubt it. Like, no, that's for me. I'm going to be on there. And don't let a hater tell you, no, you're wrong, you're tweaking. Like, girl, shut up.
Right.
She was a hater. Yeah. She wasn't a fairy.
Come on, shoulder shimmy.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like I acted, but I really want to do voiceovers for cartoons.
I could see that.
I would. It's gonna happen. I love that. You know, I've always wanted to be on Disney, right? I even did a TikTok like a few years ago. I was like, they're never gonna cast me. I'm posting. I want to be on Disney. They go to my page. It's like, come out, party with me with the ass shaking. We twerk contest. Disney will never, right? But how ironic. Season 7 now airs on Disney Plus. Season 4 through 7.
I've seen
airs
it on
Disney
Hulu.
Plus.
I've seen it on Peacock.
Disney Plus. I posted it on my page and everything. So look,
Wow.
no, I didn't become a Disney princess, but I ended up on Disney some way. You know, so I was like, literally, I was like, I'm gagged.
Yes.
Like, it's not the traditional way, but y'all can't tell. I'm on Disney.
Yes.
You know, so it's just, I swear, it's just kind of spooky. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
So from 2011, BGC 7 to
Yes.
all the way to, I'll say 2023-ish, even now, film projects and the likes. What was the evolution of Judi like? And paint that picture for us. So from, I'll even say 2025. So from 2011 to 2025, paint that picture of evolution.
whew, well, I know when, like, you know, me and Sarah have a podcast. It's called So Crazy Podcast. It's kind of like on the burner.
Everybody's asking about
it's on
that.
ice right now.
We're going to get into that too.
But a lot of people say like, wow, you've grown so much. Like, I really get those compliments. Even on Baddies though. I know we'll talk about Baddies, but I walked off of Baddies because I was like, I just don't relate to this anymore. Like this just, well, I'll get more into it when we get there. But even on Baddies, people were like, Judi was the only one that was making sense. That's like, are you serious? That's like, everybody was like, whoa, like what
I just remember your faces that you would make on the camera. It would just be like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Like,
what the is this? So I left because it was already getting dark and bad. Like, I already done called Sydney a man. I'm like, oh, they finna drag me for this. And then it just kept getting worse. Like, I was like, I'm walking away from this before nobody will ever call me again for no show. You know, y'all ain't finna ruin me.
Yeah.
You know, like I personally think Natalie's blackballed. I think those days of her being on, I'm not saying 100%, but I'm just saying, like, her trajectory, we're talking about my trajectory, her trajectory. It's from today. I
remember Judi in New York. It was me, Judi, and Edson.
Yep.
And I want to say a couple of other people we have met out.
Yeah, like Jordan, JP, other dudes from Love Games.
Yeah. So I think about then, and I think about today.
Yeah, and even when I used to come party, y'all, we had so much fun.
My game nights.
Over COVID, bonfires in the backyard, so much fun. I truly feel like I've gotten more secure with myself.
Okay.
That if anything, I know who I am. You know, there were so many times that I wanted everybody to like me and me explaining myself, like me pitching myself to people, like, no, this is and you know what? I've realized not everybody's going to like me, and that's fine. Yeah. I'd rather be a villain anyway. But you know, nobody's perfect. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to understand you. You know,
when did that adjust for you? When was that like a final realization for you?
When I started loving me. Like, when I was like, who, you know what? Like, actually, my parents crossing over and me realizing, like, okay, like, this is my life. You know, this is the cards that I got dealt. What am I going to do with them? And, you know, things that I just used to do, like just drown in alcohol and go to jail, and just all of that was stemming from pain. Like, me trying to, like, dilute something that I was hurting or something, you know, like it was trying to just put Band-Aids on emotions that maybe I blocked out from my past and stuff. And I just feel like when I realized, like, I was born alone and I'm going to die alone, you know, because I was there with my mom for her last breaths. I saw how it was. You know, I was there when my dad crossed over that night on Christmas Day. You know, like I was there for those moments. And I know how they lived in their life and how successful they were and stuff. At the end of it all, none of it mattered. I mean, of course, the memories live on and the legacy, but it truly doesn't matter. It doesn't. Things of the external world is only temporary. Like God and self-love is eternal. And when my mom did cross over and I got all her stuff and how hard it was to like, oh, carry all. I understand what Erykah Badu meant when she said, bag lady, you gonna miss your bus carrying all that stuff. I get it now. We can't take nothing with us when we go. You know, and I think when I really dug deep within and started soul searching more and knowing who I was and why I reacted to certain things the way I did, or why in that situation I did that, or what is going on with me. And once you see it and tackle it and work through it, you'll understand things just way more. It just certain stuff can't even touch you when you're vibrating at a different level. Like it just doesn't even matter. Like I don't even know you. You know, like you know what I mean? Like who are no, but literally, and I think that I'm just
so
more
amazing because you know I always looked at you like little sis.
Yeah,
and
people thought I was gonna die. Like my mom even was like,
"So great."
Every time about the doorbell rang, my mom was like, "I thought you were gonna be dead." You know, like people were worried.
Yeah.
And after 13, I see why they were. Like, child, I was spray painting my hair and talking to plants, but you know what? And I'm not making a joke out of it. Well, kind of, because let me tell you, talking to plants actually make them grow.
Or playing music, I heard.
Yeah, it's a literal fact. So I'd be like, oh, you're crazy, you're talking to plants. No, actually, it's kind of genius.
Yeah.
And what else is just weird stuff that came true that I'm like, that was that. Oh, not wearing panties. Used to showing my vagina was a mess. But actually, not wearing panties helps it for health reasons. There's benefits like no yeast infection, you're more free. There's a lot of health benefits. So I wasn't totally, like tripping. But
how in the world does Baddies ATL comes a part of your background in television? Who called you? How many times have they had to call you to try to convince you? Explain.
So, okay, before Baddies, I did turn down Love and Hip Hop. That was another thing.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay, I'll wait for that. So it's 2020. I'm minding my business. And I get a DM. And in the DM, it's like, I showed you everything, the texts and everything. And I have something to tell you off camera too that, it's gonna be so good. You guys can't know anything yet though. But so I get a DM and it's like girls in it that I've never talked to in years, like Rocky, Jada, Red. I'm like, what is this? Like it kind of triggers me because because at this point I'm thinking Bad Girls Club is long gone.
Over, yeah.
I'm in the stage of, wanting to rebrand. I actually just filmed. People were like, you were only on there for 5 seconds. It doesn't matter how long I was on there. I was one of the only bad girls out of 200 to get casted to talk about Bad Girls Club on Andy Cohen's documentary on E! That's huge. I grew up watching True Hollywood Stories. I was like, I would love to do that. And I did. Mm-hmm. And it was only me, Natalie, and Tanisha. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. So it was crazy that to mail the equipment and everything. I had to do it from home. It was COVID. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Jalen and his man at the time because I was looking like, what is this? Hanging up. I should have called you. You would have known how to do it. But that was cool. So, I just filmed for E! I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, that's lit. At this point, I'm excited about what's next.
Yeah.
When I get this DM and I open it, I mean, it's nonsense. Just like, well, okay, not all the way nonsense because it was factual. Blueface was going up on OnlyFans with that Blue Girls Club with Krishan. Like, what the hell? Like, that's a whole nother, what in the hell? But all of that is crazy. Natalie's in there talking in all caps, loud. You know how she do loud, just loud, misspelling stuff. Miss USC graduate. You can't even spell. You are and your. It's nuts. But yeah, she's the businesswoman. Anyway, I open this up, loud talking, and she's like, we got to get our shit back. Blueface is getting rich off of what we are. If he's making this much money, imagine how much we can make. And she was absolutely right. But I wasn't like, I'm not doing this. You know, like me personally, I was like, I'm not doing it. And at the time, me and the twins were going back and forth. I know now not to, they were good to bait me. And then when I respond, I look crazy. And it's like, why are you doing that? No, like I'm not doing this for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But that's what a narcissist do. Like they know exactly what to do. But anyway, we're going through those days and they talking crap. And I'm just like, you guys haven't done shit after Bad Girls Club. I'm not going to grace y'all with my presence. I'm still very much booked and busy. I just got called for like, I'm not doing this with you guys. Like, that's how I was feeling. That's why I'm like, oh, please. No. So then Tanisha gets in there and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. Like, this is a thing. And it became a thing. And like Sarah's in there, Shannon's in there, everybody's like, but originally it was really going to be OnlyFans content on OnlyFans. Like that Bad Bitch reunion was really going to be sexual content. Like I have the group chat to this day, you know, I screenshot everything. They're like, who's willing to show feet? I swear to God. Girls are like, me, I'll show my feet. Like, so I let that ride for like a few more days until I was like, no, I'm not in it. Like, you know, because that's not even my brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing this. The fans want Bad Girls Club to come back. They don't want to see y'all feet. I was like, y'all tripping. To be honest, you guys are absolutely insane and I don't need this. So I literally was like, I'm out of here. Like after all that, it was literally going to be explicit content though. And Tanisha left like right after me, like a day later, because that's not Tanisha's brand either. Yeah. Everybody else was 100% on board. Don't let them tell you different. Don't let them get in here and be like, I told them no. No, you said no when things didn't go the way you wanted them to go for you. That's when you started speaking out and doing all this. It's because you got kicked out and because things didn't work out your way. You were with it when you thought you were in it to win it. You were with it. You were with all of it. Stop acting like you're like John Baptist. Like you're, oh no, like, no, you're not. You were with it. You're trash too. Anyway, moving on. You know, all of that. Whatever happened with the Bad Bitch.
You weren't on the OnlyFans.
Absolutely not.
Because you dropped out. But what got you to do?
They were like, come to Atlanta. I was like, I live in Atlanta. I'm not coming to that house with y'all. Come do the conversation. I'm not arguing with y'all. No. And then at the time, Zeus wasn't really that big. So I'm looking at Zeus like, what is Zeus? You know, like, what is that? But what ultimately got me on Zeus was Natalie literally called me from block numbers. She be scared to call me from a real one. Whatever. She thinks I'm crazy. Okay. Whatever. I talked to her. We'll get into that. I don't talk to her now, but I have her real number now. She trusts me with it now for whatever reason. But she used to call me blocked and shit. And she literally begged me to be on this Baddies show. She said Zeus picked it up. This was like January 2021. You know, literally. She was like, we're going down to Miami. Lemmy has your flight. Please do this. It wouldn't be Bad Girls Club coming back together without you. Literally, she said that. And literally, I'm with Jalen, you know, my friend Jalen, and we're talking about the pros and the cons. And I literally was not gonna board that flight the night before the flight. I was like, I just don't want. I'm not gonna do it. But at the last minute, I was like, fuck it. You know, I already have the flight. We're going to Miami to film promo. This could be cool. We were just in a pandemic. Money, you know what I'm saying? It's a check. Why would I have bills too? I was like, what's the worst, you know, that could happen? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And I went, and it was cute though. Like it was fun. We were all grown, seeing everybody. It was like we're all more grown, but we're still the same. It was funny. It was like, wow, hey girl, hey Megan, hey Natalie. Like it was just Sydney Star there. I'm like, wow, hey girl, you found a way, didn't you? You done found a way. And, you know, to be honest, she was picking on Natalie, like throwing drinks on her and stuff out there. And Natalie was like, you're not going to play with me. And Sarah told me Natalie actually told Sydney to mess with me. So
you got a little bit of that from Sarah's interview.
Yeah. So Sarah did, you know, tell me, you know, I wish she told me before, because I think I wouldn't have even done it. But I understand at the time her and Natalie, you know, we're working on this project. I get it, you know, but Sydney coming at me was left field. Like I had no idea. I literally talked to her before we filmed. We were friends. we were friends. You know, that's why, oh, you're homophobic. I'm like, that was literally my friend. Like, never been homophobic, dated women since I could talk or something. Like, my first kiss was women, like young and stuff. Like, I've always been supportive of the community, a part of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell. I was really friends with Sydney. Me calling her a man was because she was calling us trannies. She called me and Janelle trannies. She was blaming me for not being on Bad Girls Club. And I basically was like, Sydney, you're a dude. Like, maybe that's why you didn't make it. Things are way different now. I wasn't trying to even say it in a rude way. It's just a fact. Things are way different now. But at the time, I don't think they were bringing a transgender girl on Bad Girls Club yet. It was a liability. It's a fact. Everybody.
Your comebacks were hilarious on the show, and they're hilarious now.
I just want to reiterate, though, that I could have, because I'm so good at comebacks and shade, I could have said a million other things than to call her a man. So I do understand where I was wrong with that. And I take responsibility, but I wanted her I talked about my fupa, got me on goals, getting a BBL. Like, girl, like, you hurt my feelings, so now I want to hurt yours.
Really needs to understand is that you can't control someone's response to whatever you do to them. Exactly. If you're an antagonizer or someone that is trying and poking, however someone responds is how they respond.
And that's what I said. I said, you can't disrespect somebody and choose how they respond to disrespect. Once you disrespect somebody, all bets are off. There's no respect there. So that's, I was like, well, you're a man. You called me a tranny. A derogatory term that is looked down on in the transgender community. So many people have come up to me, trans girls, the LGBT community, like, girl, we hate Sydney. That is the worst person out there representing for our community. She out there tricking men, ruining innocent men's careers. I got so much love. Like, nobody canceled me. Of course, there was a few people like, you're homophobic, but those are people that know better and know that I'm not. They just want to, some people, like I said, not everybody gonna like you. Some people just really want a reason not to like you. My light irritates their demons. That's fine. Stay over there, demon.
I like that quote.
Because it's true. Like, you have no reason not to like me. I'm not homophobic, but you're going to ride with that because there's nothing else to ride with.
When you get to the house of Baddies ATL, you okay?
Yeah. I don't have a boogie, right?
You are fine.
Okay.
I see you like fixing. No, you are fine.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong.
Okay.
You get to the house, and what's the first thing that comes through your mind when you step in? Are you looking at production? Are you looking at the cameras they're using? Are you looking at the house overall?
So I will say, in Miami, we had a ball. It was so much fun, and that totally changed my mind. Like, this is so much fun. Lemmy, he goes all out with everything. And this is before Zeus is what it is today. But even back then, he understood building a pipe. Like, we're walking down South Beach, cameras flashing, paparazzi, like, he's already filming promos with Ray J and the Jet and stuff. Like, he got it, it was a lot of fun. Beautiful room in Miami, beautiful hotel, everything paid for, beautiful mansion, the pull up in the car. I was with Seven, which was cool because her name is Seven and I was from season 7. So that was dope. I love Seven, by the way. Like, great girl. Like, I love Virgos though. But so then we get to this house and I'm like, what is this? It was literally
night and day.
It was night and day. Like, we're in Miami, these nice cars, beautiful mansion. Like, I'm like, I could get with this. Then we pull up to this house in Whoville, literally. And I'm like, what is this? They're like, Baddies ATL. I mean, not a pink light in sight, not a baddies, not a damn thing, Leslie. I mean, not a hot tub. The ceiling was leaking, the wallpaper. I mean, this looked like they just literally found this house and was like, we'll do it here. Like the day before. I'm like, this is so crazy. And then when I walk in, I bring Jalen. Jalen brought me there. And Natalie is like, no, he can't be here, Judi. And I'm like, what? Why can't y'all got everybody else here? No, it's COVID. It's COVID. When I tell you Natalie didn't allow my best friend there or my own makeup team, because I have my MUAs, I have my people. I live here in Atlanta. None of them were allowed because of COVID. Mind you, every night we got big booty strippers, hookah girls, everybody and their mama, Saucy Santana. everybody and their mom at the house, but I can't bring my one friend or an MUA. They played. So, and then, you know, that's after a while. I walk into my room and I got a twin bed with Sydney. I'm like, y'all are playing with me, you know? Like my wig is crooked. It's like sliding off the longer I'm there, the wig just kept going more and more off my head. It was like, let's go.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I am stressed. This is so bad. And yes, me and Sydney were friends in Chicago, but we never lived together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, for one, this is insane because you're giving replacements their own rooms and stuff, nowhere near as iconic as I am on the Oxygen Network or from the Bad Girls Club brand.
Yeah.
At all. He wasn't calling them to talk on Andy Cohen's show. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
You know, I should definitely had my own room. But, you know, I'm not petty because I own my own house. You know, I'm like, this is a show. I can, you know, because I can go home.
Right.
I live down the street. So I'm just like, whatever, I'll rock out for a while until I couldn't. No more. And I couldn't, Wesley. It was too much. Sydney with the lubricant, filming OnlyFans content. It was like February.
Wait, what?
Yes, it was February in Atlanta. So, you know, it's starting to get warm. February. She has the heat on, 88 degrees all night. Like lights on all the day, like really ghetto, like
she was
living.
filming OnlyFans content in the house.
Yeah, she had lubricant on the studio. I mean, on her dresser or whatever. Her room, her side is just a mess.
Yeah, I remember seeing that part.
Like it was just way too much, and it just made me realize how much I've outgrown these type of situations. And I know we're gonna get in Love and Hip Hop, but that's why I was kind of excited because I'm like, okay, that filming is like when I did Couples Court. It was one day of filming.
Yeah.
You know, you go, you look good as fuck, you film, and then you go home.
So
this is back in a situation where I've outgrown this and dealing with somebody who is in the mind state of I'm finally getting my bad girl moment. So we're all elevated because we've all been through this. We're coming with a different vibe. Sydney is coming with what I was on season 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like very childish, like antics. I understand it's supposed to be entertaining, but even Baddies in itself, it was presented to me as like a where are they now type vibe, elevated, showing people what we've been up to, our real lives, real boss bitch shit. But obviously the whole franchise, that's not what it is now. They found their demographic and their lane, but that definitely was nothing what Baddies was supposed to be.
Was there anyone on the show that you felt that you could confide in when you were frustrated with the Sydney stuff? Did you and Sarah have conversations? Did you and Tanisha have conversations? What about Christina? Because at the time, Christina was going through her own kind of stuff.
You know, a funny story. One night, it was like raining and storming. The lights are off. Michael Myers music started playing dun, 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 all night. And I'm just in the bed like, who is that? Tell me why everybody thought it was me. They're like, Judi with that Michael Myers music. I'm like, no.
You're literally saying Michael Myers music was playing. You're not
like loud, no.
painting a scene.
No, dun, 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 dun. We heard heels. I'm like, who is that? Everybody thought it was me. So I was like, Christina, was that you? She's like, yeah, girl. I'm like, okay, girl. She is crazy. But I love Christina. She was very nice to me in the house. I definitely did talk to Christina. Of course, Tanisha was there batting for me for me to get my only room, you know.
Was there any moment where, because, and I don't know if you know or not, but going back to Christina, she did a tell-all kind of an interview.
I saw that,
with Rocky, where she talked about some like dark
Yeah.
stuff. Did you see any of this happening
So
in
look,
the Baddies Atlanta house?
No, the only thing that was weird that head nods to all of that being true is I was in my room. Everybody's downstairs. Shout out to Chef D. I actually met him in 2012 in Boys Town of Chicago, which is the LGBTQ area in Chicago.
Okay.
Met him back in 2012. Huge fan. So sweet. We took a picture. That was the best part of the show. He can cook amazing.
Okay.
Amazing food. Shout out to Chef D. I'm just up there eating my tacos by myself because everybody used to be just downstairs. That's another reason why I left. There was just no structure. We would wake up whenever, and Natalie would take 10 hours in makeup, playing Cardi B Up nonstop. I remember, and what's that song? She's a runner, she's a track star. You know how certain songs bring you back to times?
Yeah.
It was Up and that.
Yeah.
And you know, there was no structure, no filming time, it was just a lot of hanging out, like just hanging out. Drugs, hookah girls. It was just a lot. Yeah. And I was like, you know, I'm a party girl and I dabble in coke, you know, I'm open with that. I party, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to do this on camera. Like, you know, it was too many risks. I was like, this is just no. But one of the producers came up and knocked at my door and she's like, hey, Judi, is Lemmy in here? You're me, right? She's like, is Lemmy in here? Like looking back at the bed and stuff. I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, why would Lemmy be in here? You know, but it makes sense. She didn't know if he was in there because I guess that's how he moves.
I guess.
You know? So I'm like, you know, I didn't know what that was about then, but now that's the only thing that really... that I was... But I will say this about Lemmy. I know there's tons of allegations and I am not here to say debunk them or anything, you know. What I will say about Lemmy is he's never disrespected me. I know he has treated all these other girls. You see, it's out there. Some of them are allegations. There's like footage of this. There's voices. This is true. But he's never disrespected me. And it's because I think he knows who to play with. I feel like Lemmy grew up in a church home. You know what I'm saying? Grew up religious. He wasn't always he was a nerd, whatever people say. He came up with great parents, successful parents. He sees that in me too. I grew up like that. I grew up in church. I grew up with successful parents, both of my parents. You know, I wasn't a nerd, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't grow up like that. I wasn't a hoe. I didn't have to struggle in my life. And not knocking anybody, because we've all fought different devils. I fought with my health. That was my devil. You know, not poverty, but health. Everybody goes through something. But I think he knows who to play with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he treats people how he truly feels about them. He's never disrespected me, begged me to come back to Baddies ATL. I thought he was going to cut my check in half. He didn't, paid me everything. Even me texting him crazy shit one time. He never, ever responded rude. Ain't no bitch, ain't no this, ain't no that. Just laugh out loud, Judi, you're crazy. Like, you know, he knows who to play with. And it's unfortunate because you see what type of girls he talks like that to and takes advantage of. And it's just obvious that he treats people how he feels about them, which most people do. A person is going to treat you how they feel about you. 100%. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. So when you made the decision to leave, was that a decision that you made within yourself? Did someone talk to you about it?
No, I left in my mind days before I left physically. Like most women do in relationships. I was like, yeah, I'm going home. Like every day I woke up and I was like, I'm getting out of here. Like I'm going home. This is not fun. You know, there's the arguments that have happened are dark. You know what I'm saying? It's not even fun. And Cindy can say whatever she wants to me. I gotta walk on eggshells with what I say back to her. So that's already not fair. I'm just like, this just is not good. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. They had everybody and their mama at the house. People who I had severed ties with years ago fired. Like this dude who's popping up everywhere as everybody's personal assistant. That was really my personal assistant, literally fired him. Like now he's just riding the coattails of everybody else. Just very weird. I'm like, this is trash. Yeah. Like this is just trash. From the bull riding, Natalie trying to make me and Sydney fight in the little jumpy gym. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like,
was there ever a moment outside of the Chef D cooking that you actually had like fun? And outside of Miami, so in Atlanta.
I will say this about Zeus and Lemmy, man, their parties are fun as like so much fun. Like Zeus knows how to party. They gonna spend some money. Like Zeus is fun. I would never take that away from them. Zeus is so much fun. The reunion, when we went out there to LA, we went to like a rooftop party. It was where our hotel was actually. So all we had to do was leave the hotel roof and go to our rooms and stuff. I think we were at like this is going to sound so bad. I think it was a Diddy party. I don't know. It wasn't, but it wasn't like after hours. It wasn't like none of that. Wasn't none of that. But I do think like his son was there. I know that, I think like, I forgot his name, but a big rapper. His security guard was there and actually trying to holler at my friend who I brought with me out there. They did not allow her to the reunion though. She could party with us the night before, but they were like, she got to stay at the hotel because, you know, they didn't know what she was up to. She really wasn't going to do nothing though, but they wanted me to be alone per usual. But no, that night was so much fun, man. Bottle swapping. I met Marcus, you know, Natalie's friend, the one who was on like Moesha and stuff. Okay. Megan was there. I have a video of it on TikTok. Jayla, we had a ball. Like that was Zeus.
It looks like the parties be fun.
Yeah, no, Zeus, don't get it twisted. Zeus is fun as hell, like fun. And I will say like Natalie is fun as too. Like she is so much fun. Like she really is.
So is this so Natalie on the show is different than Natalie off the show?
You know, because I know Natalie because we really did become close after 13. Me, her, and Sarah did a lot of events together, made a lot of money together, traveled a lot together. I know her for real. Her mom loves me too. You know, my mom actually liked Natalie too. But I know her. I know she's insecure. A lot of that confidence is not real. And the reason why she wants money so much is because that's what she feels like she has to do. You know, I know her. So she's insecure so many times. I've seen it. I talked to her crazy on Baddies ATL. You don't see it, but I talked to her crazy to say nothing back. Like she is, I wouldn't say that she's 100% different because she's very devious and calculated even off camera. I've seen it. I've seen her buy followers to beat out Blue because at one point Blue was the most followed bad girl. I was like, what you gonna do? I asked her, what you gonna do? And literally the next day.
You are hilarious.
No, but it's true. True stories. I'm not telling a fib about anything. Like, swear to God. And the next day, Natalie had more followers than Blue. That's what she did.
Who are your top 3 bad girls on Baddies ATL? Your top 3 outside of yourself, and why?
You know what's crazy? Me and Sarah were not that close on Baddies at all. I don't think me and Sarah got close until she realized them bitches didn't fuck with her either. Until things started looking crazy. You know, I think she realized like, Judy's my real friend. Like, you know, what am I doing here? Like this, I think she realized like, you know, what was going on and shit. Like Natalie is playing in your face. You know, I mean, they're treating you terribly. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was kind of like low key. I was, you know, I wasn't in that shit. None of it. But if I could speak like from the outside looking in of Baddies, if I can't choose me, because I feel like I was very level-headed on Baddies, besides when Sydney would bring me out of character. Right. Congrats, Sydney.
Right.
But I mean, Seven and Janelle, they were some bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? They were amazing. They looked nice. They were nice. You know what I'm saying? They were very nice to me. And as fucked up as it is what Christina was going through, and I didn't know the depths of it until after, you know, the show, but Christina was very nice to me too. You know, everybody was, you know, treated me nice besides Sydney, obviously, because Natalie told her, you know, not to. Right. But even Natalie, like I said, she's so fun, you know, and even she did a interview for Interview Mag with Roland Ray, and he was like, who would you bring back? Natalie said me. She was like, I would bring Judi back. I don't think she got a fair shot. She came too early. We were getting our feet wet. She gave me my flowers on wax. And that's how she really feels. You know what I'm saying? Like, Judy's iconic. She's great TV. I would bring her back. That's what Natalie really feels. You know, so... I mean, that's the truth, though. Like, you know, like, we know that. Yeah. So, but it's dope for her to, you know... At the end of the day, everybody knows exactly what it is and everybody understands. And I think the older we get, it's like, you know, come on. Like, it's ridiculous, you know? And I think Baddies opened up just a lot of like, and it just that show, I was just like, I'm past stuff like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This doesn't make sense. You know, there's no finish line to this. Like, what's the point? Yeah. And of course, it was the first season. None of us really knew what would happen or where it would go, but where Baddie went, that is crazy. I mean, it is a hot show. You know, I mean, it is insane. Yeah. Like, crazy.
The money has gone exponentially up. The production has gone exponentially up. I mean,
you know, there's a lot of...
They just did a season in Africa.
Yeah, there's a lot of like...
dark stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of people think, I'm not saying oh, this is what it is. It's what it is. No, but I'm not saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, this is a lot of money going on. It's obviously a sex trafficking ring. Like, why are they going to Africa? And then they show the clip of Natalie on All-Star Battle, and she's like, I can go to Africa and make that money in a night or whatever. Like, so.
Have you ever been to any of these girls' trips?
Oh, absolutely
to
not.
Dubai
No,
and
ma'am. No. Because you knew. I mean, you knew. And I think Natalie knew. She knows I'm not that type of girl. Why would she invite me? I mean, the men would have had more fun with me than anybody, though, because I'm fun. They would have had a ball. I would have not had to have sex with not one of them.
Okay.
I would have talked to them all night about the moon, the stars, the trees, God, earth.
Do you know of any girl today that has gone to these trips that have expressed what happens on these trips? Or is it all just hearsay?
It's all just for me personally, them telling me like this is what happened with Natalie. It's hearsay.
Yeah.
But I know that some of it is not just allegations because I've seen things she did with just me and her for events in other cities and stuff, which is stuff I won't say.
Yeah.
But she's definitely, hooked up with a couple rappers. I've seen it. I was invited to join, but I was like, no, y'all are tripping. And I would go back to my room next morning, banging on her door like, bitch, we gonna miss our flight, panties on the floor, everything. True story.
All right now.
And she knows I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying, but I would never say who it was.
Right.
I mean, and I feel like everybody knows that Natalie messes with other people. Like, this is no longer like she cheats on her husband. It's not even a big deal. A lot of people think they have like an open marriage and he's fine with it. Like, he, takes care of Journey. I met Jacob and he's an amazing person. Very nice. He was very respectful. He met Jacob. So I like him. I think he's great. That's just a lot right there. It's a lot. I feel like Natalie's living out her, all the things she used to say she was. Like when she was on Ustream with the dingy kitchen in the back, talking about she's a millionaire, knowing you just see her background like, girl, you ain't got no money. Now, everything she said, she's living it now, so you can't really
I mean, the money's definitely flowing.
Yeah. Regardless, a lot of people are like, every dog has its day.
Yeah.
This isn't going to last forever. Nothing does.
Yeah.
And hopefully she's not going to be in a situation that Diddy's in right now, because how she's moving and how she's treating people and stuff. She thinks Baddies is going to last a long time. And in reality, Baddies is targeted to a certain demographic and they know exactly what they're doing. No credible network, and I know this for a fact, wants anything to do with that. I mean, even Darrell came out a couple weeks ago, tweeted, this is her bread and butter right now, and she better ride it till the wheels fall off. Because I think when they do fall off, it's going to be bad. Like, a lot of people think this is going to be it's going to be a really bad downfall for Zeus, and if they're moving dirty, you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, you really don't have to. Y'all could do some amazing stuff, but they're just lost in the sauce right now. You see it, people are like, man, if this is money, the feds are already watching them because they're not being quiet with the money. They're like, I just bought this, I just bought that, I'm buying you a chain, you get a chain, you get a purse. Like, they're just flaunting it, so if it is illegal money, and what D Storm said, and they be having them in court, draining money and stuff. Like, if all of that, which is probably true, right? Of course, they need to be more careful because the feds are watching. Like, I mean, it's all over social media. And then you mix in sex again, it's in Africa now, and you know what I mean? It doesn't look good. Of course, somebody who never had shit is going to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. But people who have had shit know and they're not impressed. Like me, I'm not impressed with jewelry and purses and stuff. I like to travel the world, which I do. I was raised with everything.
I asked Sarah, what is it about women receiving bags that makes women feel so much better? Like if a man cheats on you and then they go buy you a bag, now you're like, oh, okay, I got a bag, I love you.
I personally think it's the way you were raised. Like, if you weren't raised with anything or on love and you were raised on survival and you never had materialistic stuff, getting something that's material excites you because you never had it.
Yeah.
So and with me, who literally had everything, that doesn't excite me. Like, is it cute? Yeah. Would I take it? Of course. Shout out to Lemmy for the Versace robe. Love it. Wear it. You know, but it's not like oh my God, I got a Birkin bag. Like it's a bag, it's a purse.
Right.
And all of that stuff, like luxury and stuff, it's all a lot. Like it literally is the same material as a Michael Kors in Sears right now. It really is. It's just the name on it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. People, you guys are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on purses that you can't even take with you when you die. It's just ridiculous. But hey, if they like it, I love it.
Some people consider Tanisha to be the godmother of the BGC girls. Do you agree? And was she someone you feel had your back through life and or on Baddies ATL? I know we mentioned her saying that you needed to get your own room. But do you consider her to be like a godmother figure to you? What is she to you?
Yes, I love Tanisha. I think she's beautiful. I think she's amazing. And you know, this goes back to her being on Love Games with me. You know, when me and Sydney and Corey were not getting along, Tanisha would come in and talk to me and get my head back in the game and stuff. So she's always been that role for me, you know, and I love Tanisha. I just texted her yesterday. Like, she's like, I love Tanisha. And for her to mention, she could have mentioned anybody in the world for, you know, House of Villains and stuff. And I was one of them. I mean, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like that just means so much. You know, I love her. I remember the day I met her on Love Games, I was so excited. Like, I felt like I made it when I saw Tanisha, because it's Tanisha. Yeah. You'll never, pots and pans, period. You know, like, ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. She's one of them ones.
Would you consider Natalie to be a godmother figure? Because word on the curb is that Natalie bailed you out of jail. And did she ever pay your rent?
First of all,
let's clear it all up.
First of all, I don't have rent. Okay. I own my house. I have house taxes. I have house taxes that are kicking my ass right now. Okay. They went up this year, baby. $5K. I know y'all like $5K. Yes, $5K. Ain't nobody. What? You could travel like, you could go like 3 places with $5K. But anyway, I own a house. Okay. I'm a homeowner. Don't pay rent. But not downing anybody who does, because I paid rent. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, mortgages out there. Even though I own a house, I'm wise enough to know I still don't own it. Right. They can take it from me. Right. We don't own shit in this life. Right. None of it. Right. None of it even exists. But no, Natalie did not pay my rent, and she damn sure didn't bail me out of jail.
So what happened?
So over Father's Day weekend, I have a neighbor from hell, for real. And I know I take full accountability. Yes, sometimes my music was too loud. I don't even move like that no more after this. Okay. But, you know, blasting Gucci, and that's me straight coming off of Baddies. Still stressed, like, ooh, Gucci Mane. Like, just nuts again, back in it, back on TMZ, just crazy. And, you know, he would bang on my door and your music is too loud and stuff. But I felt like, what? Like, I'm enjoying myself, you know, because I don't say that to you when you're up all night shooting dice and just outside digging in your backyard at 3 a.m. Just weird shit. Wesley, I swear, weird shit, just digging dirt in his backyard. And mental illness, for real. And I know this because he hit my window with a bat, like just shattered it. But of course,
I'm where you currently live.
Yes. Bashed my window out with the bat.
So things have calmed down.
Yeah, I don't even move. I beat my case, thank God. I beat it in 2023, and this is actually, I'm going to go through it. Yeah. So this was, though, in 2021, a lot of mess, me versus my neighbor. I get arrested, okay? And I did get arrested because I was outside screaming. I was drunk, up all night. And even though I'm telling them that I'm outside acting like this because he banged out my window with a bat, none of that matters right now. You know what I'm saying? You are the irrational one. You're coming with us. And now I watch so much like police body cam video, I will never get in trouble again because I know all the stuff that can happen and stuff. Just, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I went to jail. Fulton County, will never be back in jail. By the 3rd day, when they gave me that other plate of food, I was like, this, they don't have hot sauce, Leslie. They don't got salt and pepper. I was like, this is no place for me at all. The girl across the hallway screaming at night, banging on the walls, like just really crazy shit. Right. So the way I got arrested, and like I said, I watch a lot of body cam. First of all, I'll never be in this situation again. But if I knew what I know now, being in this situation, I would have had my phone. I would have had stuff on me, right? The way I got arrested, They took me, hauled me out, nightgown, bonnet, titties out, everything. Like, left my phone on my table, took my dog to the pound. Cause see, they were like, is anybody here to take care of him? I said no, thinking that they would feel bad. Like, oh, you could stay home. They didn't give it. They said, okay, we're gonna take your dog to the animal shelter. I said, what? Like, just, it was a mess, Wesley. They locked my door, locked me out. Thank God my neighbor, God works in mysterious ways. Thank God my neighbor did bash out the window, because that's the way I got back into my house when I got out of jail. Because they had locked my door. I had no keys, no credit card, no debit, no money,
Lord.
no phone. I was out there.
So she did bail you out.
No. I'm in there, and I mean, people recognize me, the policemen, they're like, Judi, what you doing in here? I'm like, oh my God, the other girls I'm with, they're like, Judi. Like, one of them, you could tell it was her birthday, her makeup was done, she looked so pretty, she just had a bad night. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you in here tonight? She's like, girl, yeah. So we all get in a paddy wagon. I actually slip out the handcuffs. There's other stories of me on TMZ of doing this. I can slip out some handcuffs. I was like, should I run? They said, girl, no, they can shoot you. I was like, oh, damn.
You're so silly.
I wouldn't have done it, but just, you know, I'm out of handcuffs. Right? I did, though, for my DUI. Y'all could look it up on TMZ. You type in Judi, TMZ, arrested. So many stories will come up. But I slipped out of handcuffs and got out the police car, like, called it. Long story. Back in 2011, beat it, thank God. But this time, you know, we get to the all-women's jail. And by this time, I'm sobering up. You know, I'm realizing, like, oh, shit. You know, because for the last couple hours, I'm still lit. I'm like, oh, hey, girl, like in jail. Once I get to my cell, I'm, like, sober. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God. So I go to the phone, and it's already hard to call people on a jail phone. Like, that is so difficult. The dial tone, you got to press at the right time. They're like, sorry, you've been disconnected. Just crazy shit. It's like you're made to be in there when you get in there. I realized I don't know anybody's number by heart.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, it just starts getting very real, you know? And people know who I am, but still like that, you know, like I can't just talk my way out of this, obviously.
Right.
So I go up to the correctional officer. She's working at, you know, the window. And I said, girl, can you do me a favor? And she said, what? And I said, please, I would never ask you to do anything but this. And she said, Judi, I could like lose my job. I said, please just do one favor. She was on Instagram. I said, DM, and I gave her Jalen's Instagram name. She was like, Judi, you better not tell anyone. I said, I swear to God, please just DM him and ask what his number is and give it to me. And she did. She DM'd Jalen. And by the grace of God, Jalen.
He believed.
He opened it. Well, he knew because he was drinking with me that night.
Okay.
And he knows me. Anybody knows that I'm always going to get up and tweet something, retweet something, post something on my story. He knows that. And he knows I usually text him the next day, like, had so much fun last night. See you next time. He said by the time 3 p.m. rolled around and I didn't tweet nothing, my stories starting to disappear on Instagram. I didn't text him. He said, something's up, but maybe Judi is just sleeping. You know, maybe she's oversleeping. When it got to 6 and wasn't no movement, he said, something's wrong. So he was already kind of feeling like, where is Judi? And he checked the message, thank God, because he's not an internet person like us. He checked it though. Sent the number, got the number. She slid it to me. I said, thank you so God. I didn't necessarily think Jalen could get me out of jail, but he would connect me to somebody who would. So that's what happened. Got in touch with Jalen, got in touch with Miss P, who I met through Casey, the owner of Pop Out. She became like a godmother to me. She's from Lafayette, Louisiana, so we have a lot in common, like history. She bailed me out, and I paid her the $400 as soon as I got out of jail the next day. So no, Natalie had nothing to do with this. I didn't even call her on the phone. And when she said that on the reunion at Baddies, Miss P, they were really mad. They were like, we did all that work. We came to Fulton County, and, you know, and how dare her try to take, you know, claim. And she did not bail me out of jail. Didn't give one fuck about me. And then when it came to 2023, when I needed a lawyer to fight that, because I thought that was it. I thought I just went to jail. No, baby, here's an arraignment that I got. Like, I got to go to court and fight this? What are my charges? And my charges was crazy. Terroristic threats. Told the police I was going to shoot them. Like, just crazy. Things I would never do now that I know. Right. That this is a... Right. This is crazy. Right. And my mom always told me, your mouth is going to get you in so much trouble. And she's right. Because it's always been my mouth. But yeah, terroristic threats. all of that. I'm like, oh my God, I need a lawyer. I'm in New Jersey with Sarah celebrating our birthday and event. They call me, they're like, you need to be in court on Monday morning with a lawyer. I had no lawyer. The lawyer that I do have, he lives in Chicago. He can't represent me here in Georgia. I said, oh my God. Called him though, he directed me to somebody who came last minute. I had to pay him $10,000 Monday morning.
This is a lot.
Couldn't move any money. Mind you, this is Friday. I'm in New Jersey for an event. The bank's closed, and at that much of money, I gotta go to the bank.
Yeah.
And court is at 9 a.m. And if I'm not there, I have a bench warrant for my arrest. So it will start all over again. So I'm like, I have the money, but I don't have the funds liquidated to just cash out or take out whatever right now. I need to go to the bank and everything. So I'm reaching out to people, can I just borrow this and I'll pay you back? I reached out to fucking Lemmy. Cause Lemmy, I got the money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Lemmy, this is something serious. Why, I'm not asking him for a bag. I'm not using him. I'm like, this is something I would pay you back. And it wasn't even, I didn't even ask him. I said, hey, like, I'll promote some shit for you. Cause I ain't gonna lie, Zeus like pays like $2,000 just to promote one thing on they pay.
Right.
So I was like, can you just loan me? I'll post